This is Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in the Google search from my site. I bought this yesterday. It's fresh on the newsstand. Right now it's the last week in February, and this is March 2018 issue. It's about Jennifer Aniston and her husband, Justin Theroux. Now, this article I think is especially entertaining because from the time it was produced till it was published, by the time Architectural Digest did the story, took the pictures, wrote the story, and the time it was published, Justin and Jennifer announced their divorce. And so here's the first picture. Pool is absolutely beautiful. Now I'm going to start reading soon. As soon as I read, a promise I keep to myself, and I'm pretty good about not making exceptions. Is that when I start the words of the writer, then I read nothing else. I don't editorialize as I go through, so I will say words like headline, title, and caption. Those are visually obvious. Those words are not written. I will say those words, but that's just to help understand where the text is. And other than that, it'll be 100% the writing of Mayer Roos. Mayer, M-A-Y-E-R, Roos, R-U-S. Photographs are by Francois Dischinger and styled by Lauren Howell. The caption for this picture: the house offers sweeping views of the city below. Marcello Viano and Anne Ottinger designed the landscape. Custom teak chaise lounge chairs and a teak deck by designer Stephen Shadley with cushions of a perennial fabric. For details, see resources. And now the title of this is A View from the Top. And on the cover it says, exclusive at home with Jennifer Aniston. Caption: Aniston in her home office wears Balenciaga cardigan and girlfriend jeans. Fashion styling by Ryan Hastings. Photographed by Alexei Lumorsky. Caption: right, mid-century house overlooks the pool. Caption: pictures of the couple's stand on a vintage rosewood cadenza in the family room. Other photographs from Staley Wise Gallery. This is Justin in the picture, and the caption reads: Theroux at the main entrance with his BMW left and Ducati right for the bronze front doors. Shadley took inspiration from the backdrop of Johnny Carson's Tonight Show set from the 1960s. Here's a seriously imposing desk in Jennifer Aniston's house that looks as if it might have been plucked from the executive suite of some international conglomerate. positively radiates authority. I feel extremely powerful when I sit in that desk. So powerful, in fact, that I'm almost never there. The effervescent actress jokes instead. Aniston prefers to work at relatively modest computer setup in the light-filled kitchen of the Los Angeles home she shares with her husband, actor, screenwriter Justin Theroux, and their 3 dogs. It's much cozier, she explains, and I'm all about cozy. It's hard not to love Jennifer Aniston. More than 2 decades after Friends star first laid claim to the title of America's Sweetheart, a dubious distinction perhaps, but nevertheless apt, Aniston shows no sign of relinquishing that role. She's funny, self-effacing, miraculously down to earth, especially given the insane tabloid scrutiny that she accompanies every day of her career. Romantic liaison, yes, haircut, aficionados of design. Aniston boasts one added attraction: she has terrific taste. If I wasn't an actress, I'd be a designer. I love the process. The serial renovation, she says. There's something about picking out fabrics. It finishes and feeds my soul. Aniston's commitment to the craft was certainly put to test at her latest residual product, the remaining of Bel Air house that was designed by architect Quincy Jones and completed in 1965. The actress acquired the property in 2011 after selling her beloved Ha Levitt designed home in LA, Trousdale Estates, Enclave, AD March 2010, and attempting to locate to Manhattan, a move ultimately thwarted by the rabid paparazzi that swarmed outside her Greenwich Village apartment. When she bought the Bel Air property, it had recently emerged from renovation by architect Frederick Fisher, which, despite its sympathetic embrace of Jones' vision, skewed a bit too cool and minimal for Aniston's taste, had a very dramatic entry sequence that led to the massive front painted Chinese red. The actress recalls, aesthetically, it was the furthest thing from what I wanted. Caption: the living room is outfitted with 20th century classic Jean Royer polar bear sofa, Arturo Pani cocktail table, leather-wrapped armchair by Jacques Adnet, Piet Hein for Fritz Hansel bar stools, from Wyeth in Holy Hunt leather and custom walnut, bronze and mica bar by Shadley, painted on far right by Robert Motherwell. Painting on far right by Robert Motherwell. Title: There's something about picking out fabrics that finishes and feeds my soul. Every corner you turn, you have an experience, Aniston says, but I immediately had the sense that it could work. It's hard to describe. I felt a connection. Aniston enlisted the aid of AD 100 interior designer Stephen Shadley, with whom she had collaborated on her previous LA home, to perform a similar alchemy in Bel Air, namely to preserve the modernist ethos of original scheme while something sharp lines outfitting the interior with tactile organic finishes. Jen was drawn to wood, stone, and bronze materials that have real substance and depth. No matter how beautiful or glamorous something is, It's hard to be warm and inviting, Shadley says. Aniston seconds the notion sexy is important, but comfortable is essential. She avers, pointing as evident to the vintage Jean Royer polar bear sofa, Jacques Adnet armchairs, and Mies van der Rohe daybed arranged in the living room. Aniston credits the home's deftly layered interiors to a team effort, with important contributions by Shadley, the LA designers Kathleen and Tommy Clements, and Jane Hallwood. Thoreau weighed in as well. Sexy is important, but comfort is essential. Justin definitely wanted to be involved, so there's a bit of learning curve for me on how to include another voice in the design process, Aniston explains. For instance, I figured out that immediately saying no to any suggestion is not the most collaborative move. Aniston describes the centuries spanning decor of old world meets new world. A polyglot mix of hand-painted wallpaper and mid-century furniture, silk rugs and polished concrete, antique Japanese screens, and abstract impressionist paintings. Yet for all the pedigree pieces on display, artworks by Adolphe Gottlieb, Robert Motherwell, and Glenn Lejeune, furnishings by Vladimir Kagan, Edward Wormley, and Arturo Pani, the real triumph rests in the harmony of the various decorative compositions within Shadley reconceived interior architecture. Every corner you turn, you have an experience. Everywhere to look, you get a vista. We worked very hard to get the flow right, Aniston said. The same imperative guide the transformation of extensive grounds, which previously featured a hillside vineyard. Gardener, designer, Marcello Biano, and landscape architect Anne Ottinger reorganized the alfresco spaces in a series of interconnected outdoor rooms, tracing the Asian-inspired pocket gardens. Sundays at the Aniston Thoreau's home are reserved for cooking and frolicking by the pool with friends, children, and dogs. We put out a mean taco bar, and the chili's pretty good in the colder months, the actress says. Although Aniston remains as big as ever, next up she plays a former beauty pageant queen in the indie comedy Dumpling. The life and home she has keeps her priorities in order. There was a time when I thought there was something romantic about picking up and trotting off somewhere different every 3 months. Now I'm becoming more particular about projects I take, she says. I look around at my husband, my dogs are home, and there's nowhere else I want to be. Caption. In Aniston's office, a pair of vintage leather club chairs face a desk by Dawn Shoemaker from J.F. Chan, Tiffany lamp opposite in the master bedroom. Dolly, one of the couple's 3 dogs, lounges on the platform. Pashmina, shag carpet, custom walnut bed, and suede headboard by Shadley. captions. The listeners, I promised no editorial during the text, and I accomplished that. The text is finished. This is a very complicated page, and it's select items with specific captions. So stools by Blackman Cruise flank the kitchen island. This polar bear sofa is featured again. Urchin by Claire Palastaga for Creel and Grove from 200. creelandglow.com. That's that thing. creelandglow.com. Secolo porcelain slab in Marion Glace by Walker Zanger, priced upon request. That's the fittings for looks like probably a sink, could be a tub. I dream of building an art studio and spending crafty Sundays at the pottery wheel. That's a Aniston quote. Caption: RW Atlas deck-mounted marquee lavatory faucet with metal lever side mount handles and unlacquered brass by Roman and Williams from Waterweeks. $2,400. Waterworks.com. Wyeth Plith Bamboo Media Sideboard by John Birch from $4,495. That's $4,495. That's RH.com. Hanging teardrop ceramic birdhouses in orange and yellow by Alpine, 27 each. Hayneedle.com. Hayneedle.com. Again, the Barstool Workshop Mower Stool by Blackman and Cruz, 5,700. BlackmanCruise.com. Anastasia Rug by Loloi, $529 for a 5x7. Loloirugs.com. LAOLOLOI rugs.com. Here's a throw piece that mimics the Motherwell painting at Christie's.com. No, that is the painting. It was purchased in 1963 and by auction at Christie's. That's by the famous modern artist Robert Motherwell. Biedermeier Candlesticks by Ted Muelling for E.R. Butler and Company from $360. So there's a $360 candlestick, or a candelabra. It does say candlesticks, but it's not a candlestick. It's a candlestick holder or a candelabra. Gallery table lamp by Daryl Carter from Miller Road, $1,425. That's bakerfurniture.com. Clyde in Aniston's office library. Oh, this is their dog, Clyde. Antique rug. My favorite compliment is when people say how warm the house looks. Branching bubble chandelier by Lindsay Alderman, Studio, $9,000. So this is a branching bubble chandelier for $9,000. Immersion carpet by Tai Ping. To trade, houseoftaiping.com. And that's it. So right now, this is on the newsstand. I bought this at Hudson News. Hudson News has renovated their main retail in a Port Authority bus terminal, so it's new and it's brightly lighted and it's bigger. The magazines are merchandise presented a little bit better than their kind of archive style one that it replaced. So Jen's picture is here in this happy story, and at least 5 other places in the in that Hudson News you see this very angry face where the news of her divorce with Justin is on the newsstand simultaneous to this happy story. So that's one of the reasons that this was especially interesting to me. Now this bag gets updated every now and then by Hudson News, and this is archived in this wedding bells. So right here in the plastic bag is Jennifer's wedding, and then here is her happy house with Justin, and also in the same store is news of her divorce from Justin. This has been Tom Duty, Middle-Aged American. I can't get over making an excuse about these camouflage. I bought them. I had this idea I was going to wear them outside in the winter in New York City to do deliveries, and they're terrible. I look like a paramilitary. My wife said I would be arrested. So anyways, I ended up wearing them at home. This has been Tom Duty, Middle Aged. Have a good day, good evening, a restful night's sleep. Ciao.